sponsor,
Ah.
Manscaped.
Uh-huh.
You know, have you tried the new equipment that's been sent?
I'm afraid because it says weed whacker. I'm scared.
Maven, Manscaped. What are you thinking about
Love it.
Manscaped, dude?
Love it.
What do you use it for?
Necessity. What don't I use it for? Put it this way. The only hair I have on my entire body is these eyebrows.
Yeah.
That you see. These caterpillars racing to the middle of my nose. That's it.
That is it.
That's all I have. And that's all I want.
That's the
So Manscaped is a
You-
must.
We were talking before the show. There's nothing worse than just hair.
Yeah.
Right? Hair on a woman, hair on a man. It's just bad.
Absolutely. And it's the one thing that the older I get, it starts growing more in unwanted areas.
Absolutely.
I hate it.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
Just going to go out there.
Oh, boy.
Go for it.
You're doing a deed.
Yes.
Again, I don't want you to have to admit this because we, as men, we try not to admit this. But if you're going to
Oh,
go
I
do the
know
deed
where-
on a
I
woman,
know where
would you
he's
rather
going.
have her be hairless or a little hair, racing stripe, or
Racing stripe.
full retro bush?
Racing stripe.
Retro Bush is out.
Yes, thank you.
Retro Bush is out.
Yeah.
I don't mind a small, well manicured landing strip. Every now and then, if it's completely, and I'm talking like baby's ass bald, then I start. Where is that pedophilia line? I don't want to
Wow.
wander into that.
That's
thought
very
of it like
interesting.
that.
I never thought about that. You're a
Wow.
smart dude. Holy shit.
So if the landing strip is clean enough for the plane to go in smoothly, you're cool with that?
If the landing strip has, like I said, well manicured,
Yeah,
you can see both sides. It's not
Like blinking lights on both sides of that
I
landing?
just don't. I don't want. I don't want the shrubbery going off into unwanted areas on that as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Oh, look
but-
what you found. Ooh.
I got to be all honest though. Hey, the older I get though, I don't think I can be as
I found it! I found
have
it!
you ever gone down there and she slowly brings down the underwear? Then
What is
retro? Just,
Absolutely.
You're like, whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm
like it
46, of
pops
course.
out?
Do you like walk out or what do you do?
No, I muster through. I muster up the courage to get
He's
through.
a trooper. He's a trooper. Got to give him an A.
Oh, not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah,
There you go.
I hear you.
There you
Listen,
go.
I couldn't
Super
say.
Bush.
I couldn't say. Well, if you have the same beliefs as Maven, does Manscaped could help you?
Absolutely.
The weed whacker.
Absolutely.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that I may have to, go in a room, close the door, and hang out with the weed whacker for a little while.
Yeah, I think you're a retro guy, aren't you?
I like 70s adult films, if that's what you're getting at.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
But
only
with that,
Ron
we're going to take a
Jeremy,
quick
Batman.
commercial break, and we'll be
Anyway.
back with this wrestling icon, Maven.
We will see you in a drop kick second.
Drop kick.
Speaking of that, a real serious conversation. Now, you go into pro wrestling, right? And it's, historically it's been a male-dominated sport. And if you're living under a rock, we all know what's been going on with Vince McMahon and his accusations and just overall the things that have happened in wrestling and the treatment of women. Now, women have evolved, and again, like I said, I'm a huge fan of women's wrestling. Even though you love wrestling, were you concerned what you might have to face and some of the things that could happen in order to advance your career or the things requested of you? Is that a right way to say it?
Or is
Jimmy?
Vince McMahon just like politics to you?
In that way, I do feel that. So I feel like I was warned, and then you see the dark side of the rings and the different things that have happened in the past. So as long as I feel like I am aware of these things could be something I come across, don't take drinks from strange men or people in that way, or I would never put myself in a situation to kind of get in a different position if I were to do anything sexually or whatever. So as long as I am true to myself and know that that's not something I would do, that's all I can really. I can't speak for other women and what they might do to get to different positions or whatever. So it's like, I feel like there's different sides to every story. So I definitely think that as long as for me, I know like my morals and what I'm willing to do and not do. And then, just hopefully maintain that throughout.
I guess so. I mean, that's a really great answer, because I guess my question to you is this: can you understand a woman or a male, who cares, doesn't matter, wanting something so bad that they're willing to give up their morals to get it? Do you understand that happening, and could you identify with that?
Yes, I can definitely identify with that, but I mean, even like now, I'm like, dang, like I'm broke. I'm a upcoming wrestler. Like, if only I did OnlyFans or
Right.
something like that. So I definitely, I'm not knocking it, and to each their own. But for me, like, quote unquote, I'm trying to do things the right way. And there's always, different right ways for different people. But in that way, it's just, I don't know. I just don't want to put myself in the position to one day look back and kind of say, I got here because of this, not because of my skills and abilities and what I'm capable of doing. So I don't want to be like, oh, I slept my way in, or however some people may have done it in the past or are doing it currently, who knows, but that just isn't me.
So harder question now. By the way, I don't know your parents. Kudos to your parents, because clearly
Thank you.
they've established morals
Yeah.
in this young lady. But if a woman decides to do that, or a man decides to do that, and they take money for it,
Yes.
do you feel they have a right to complain about it
No.
later?
No. I don't think that's what they chose to do, so there should be no complaining afterwards. But I do think that there are people more susceptible to being vulnerable in different social situations that maybe aren't as aware. So maybe just more education, maybe teaching women to value themselves more in that way, instead of devalue, because a lot of it comes to how they value themselves. If they don't value themselves, then how do they expect someone to value them in that way? So I think as long as we're educating women and showing them, like, you don't need to do those things to kind of get there, and whatnot, I think that that's maybe the better way to go into it. But I definitely think that that's something that if they knew that going in, hey, I'm going to take loads of money and I'm going to give you this in return, and then later on complain about it. It's like, that's what you kind of did, right? To yourself in that way. So
Do you think pro wrestling, I'm using pro wrestling because you're a wrestler, devalues women in a way like that? Because, again, look.
I think it's gotten way better.
No,
the way
it has,
used to
but,
be
Yeah.
but
compared to where it is now.
There is a sex appeal that's
course there is.
involved in this.
Of
Because
course there is.
It's a male-dominated fan sport. I mean, I'm assuming tomorrow when your table
Comes to
line
facts,
is
yeah.
down the street, it's not going to have women in it. It's going to have
9 out of 10 smelly guys.
smelly guys. Thank you. Right.
Right.
Yep. So know your
Exactly. And we'll see you tomorrow.
We'll see you, smelly man.
Yeah.
I'll take all the smelly men. Come on.
By the way,
Come on.
don't feel bad. These two old guys are going to get smelly people too. Just figured I'd let
That's
you know.
true. That's
Not as many as you though, but we'll get smelly
Come here,
people.
smelly
No,
man.
Right,
no.
we'll
Some
get
of
smelly people too.
they'll get.
You know. But by the way, I wanted to throw in real quick too. I love the fact that you talked about, of course, educate women to have more respect, for themselves, more value for themselves. It wouldn't hurt if they did that for the guys too. You don't got to be such fucking pigs.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We should have a self-respect course too while we're at it.
That's true.
I'm serious, Mike. Look at you smirking. That's facts, Jack.
I don't like
Harvey
men.
Weinstein
I'll be honest with you.
should have
I
been
don't-
sent to a course
I
on how to be a
don't,
human being.
I don't like men to begin with, so it doesn't
Oh,
really
yeah,
matter.
okay, good.
I
You
like
agree
you.
with me
I
then.
like you.
A little bit, like De Niro. A
Little
little bit.
And there are women, like you had mentioned, that like want that. They find that their sexuality is like what they
That's what gets
want to
them-
bring. Yeah, that they like that part about themselves. And so I think there's room for both. I feel like you can have those badass women, people that are doing their part, and then also there might be a sex scene or something like a bikini contest like they did back then. That's still like you said, we're going WWE's going to Netflix and that sort of thing. So maybe as long as we kind of get a taste of both, so it doesn't get completely eliminated.
no,
but I
mud,
do
no
think there's
mud
room.
wrestling. No mud wrestling stuff like the Attitude Era.
more
please.
tough questions. And we were speaking off air about, and we'll talk about it a little later, but about the body parts that some of us have or may not have at this point. Do you feel the pressure as a woman that in order to become a WWE superstar, you may need to enhance your body unnaturally at some point?
Yes, I feel like male and female,
Yeah.
you know, guys, bigger muscles, women, even breast implants or BBLs, whatever. But that's something too, like I have a strong opinion about, only because I want to be that mentor to young women and children, that it's like, hey, maybe like you're enough without having to do those things. So I'm not, again, knocking anyone that has those things or may be enhanced in different ways, but I do think that it's definitely, you know, encouraged in this field because it's very aesthetic business in that way. So it's definitely, you're going to have people commenting, oh, she has no boobs or no butt or whatever. So it's like you're going to have comments or people like speaking of these things. So as long as you're kind of self-aware and value yourself again, then I don't think that, you know, that's going to be an issue.
I gotta tell you what. It's like sometimes when you feel like the youth of this nation, and I'm calling you because you're clearly much younger than me. We were in trouble when I hear you speak and the way you're speaking. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, we got some hope.
Some people got their shit together.
There's some hope.
I'm
Yeah, there is.
highly
What about Abe?
I'm highly
Abe's a young
impressed.
man?